Delighted to welcome back on the show. It's been quite a while. I think it was before Conor McGregor fight at UFC 205 to welcome back on the show Mr. Eddie Alvarez. I bumped into him briefly in Las Vegas. He was over at the fight, Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather. But great to have him back on the show. One of my favourite guests to have on, Eddie Alvarez. Eddie, first of all, my friend, great to have you back on. How are you, my friend?
I'm excellent, man. I'm on my way to a little bit of training now. And, yeah, it was good to see you, Neil.
Yeah, cheers, man. Yeah, we were just talking off air there. A bit of a wild time in Las Vegas. I want to get your thoughts on that, Eddie. Obviously, you were one of the first guys to come out and give Conor a lot of credit. Obviously, you've been in the octagon with him. Just what were your thoughts on his performance against Floyd Mayweather?
I think, like, the first two rounds, when you seen the first two rounds come out, it was almost like, whoa, how is this whole fight going to go? Conor looked like he was keeping range real well. He looked so much bigger than Floyd. It looked impressive, them first two rounds. It looked like he was controlling things. And, in the third, Floyd started winking to the crowd and showing, like, I have a plan here, And then I was like, oh, man, he was setting a trap from the very beginning, But I was definitely impressed with Conor's performance. I mean, to go 10 rounds, 10 and a half rounds with one of the best boxers of all times, it's incredible. No boxer would ever step foot in the octagon and make it that close to the end of a fight with a MMA fighter. That would never happen. So to be able to cross over to another sport and do that with one of the best, you got to give him credit.
Yeah, it was a phenomenal performance, and you're one of the first guys to congratulate him as well on Twitter, I saw, which was pretty cool. Obviously, you've been in the octagon. Have you crossed paths with Conor at all since the fight?
I used the UFC headquarters when he did. When I was filming the Tough Show, he was also training in the headquarters. So I let him be. He was in the middle of training. I was also in the middle of training. Like I said, I have no ill will toward him. So for sure, I shake his hand and wish him good luck. But we haven't spoken.
Yeah.
I've said hi and how's it going to his training crew, John and Owen, and everybody's pretty cordial. Everybody's pretty nice to me. So nice group of guys.
You mentioned it there. Obviously, the big thing you've been doing at the moment, the reason why you're in Las Vegas is for the Ultimate Fighter 26. Obviously, you're going up against Justin Gaethje in the finale in December. Obviously, you can't give too much away about the show, but how was the experience itself? Was it something you enjoyed in that coaching role?
I did. I was actually, it was a big question mark because it was women, and I didn't know how I would do with women. I only am friends with guys. I train with guys. I don't have a lot of relationships with women, so except for my wife, I don't deal with women on an everyday basis. So I was curious to see how I would react in that kind of realm. So it's clear to say I learned a lot. I learned a lot about females and women, and and they definitely gained my respect in the world of MMA. There's a lot of really tough, really dedicated athletes that came out of that show, and they definitely made me see things in a different light.
Obviously, you were coaching against your opponent, Justin Gaethje. Just your thoughts on Justin. Obviously, that phenomenal fight we saw against Michael Johnson, and we obviously knew him from World Series of Fighting, but he came in and announced himself in some gusto. I look at that fight between Michael Johnson and him, and I think of you and the Dustin Poirier fight, and a lot of your other sort of fights. I think it's a great matchup. What do you think of him as a competitor and opponent for you?
Justin's pure grit, man. He kind of got a bite down his mouthpiece. When things get difficult, he kind of attacks more aggressive and harder. He reminds me of a younger me. Not too much thought involved in what he's doing. He just kind of gets lost inside the cage and gets gone. And I'm looking forward to that moment inside the cage with him where we're both kind of get lost inside the fight, and the fans will be able to enjoy it. So I'm training and getting ready to completely forget about everything I know about fighting and get into an all-out fight with Justin Gaethje. I'm excited for it.
Is that something, Eddie? We mentioned it before. Something maybe you could improve on doing is controlling your temperament when you as you said, you bite in the gum shield, and when you're in a little bit of adversity and you start swinging for the fences. Is that something that you've purposely maybe tried to work on?
It's something that I try to suppress. So I tried in my career, I tried to be a more analytical, a more thoughtful fighter, and I try to suppress that part of my game. And I don't know if it should be suppressed. I'm constantly evolving, constantly changing things and trying to find the best me to go out there and fight. And I feel like that's me. And when I do that, when I do kind of just stop thinking so much and start reacting and be myself, I do really well. So although it may not be aesthetically pleasing, it doesn't look perfect, it's not great technique, I do really well that way. I don't get, in a lot of shootouts, I barely get beat. It's when I try to make the fight technical and think too much where I end up kind of getting on the losing end of a fight. So I have conflicting thoughts about that that part of my game. I think it could be a small weakness, but it's also my biggest strength.
We saw it in the Poirier fight. Obviously, that was a very, very good fight. Dustin obviously wanted the rematch. You got Justin Gaethje. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think yourself and Dustin might throw down, obviously, down the line sometime again?
Yeah, I'm sure if the fans ask for it and the UFC wants it, it'll happen. I don't. For me, when I fought Dustin, it wasn't like it was sort of. I was just buying time. When I entered the UFC, I wanted to fight the top guys, the number one guys. Whether I won or lost didn't matter to me. It was just putting myself in a position to get a world title. You know what I mean? I wanted to make sure that I fought the proper guys to do that. And so I want to continue to do that. And the guy like Justin, who everybody's pushing, everybody got their eye on, knocking a guy out like him, and then maybe getting a number one contender is that's my goal now, is to put Justin away, get one of the number one contenders, put them away, and then get my title back. I won't rest until I do.
I want to ask you about that. What's been the relationship like with Justin Gaethje? I know you can't give too much away about The Ultimate Fighter, but is there going to be? Are we going to see some ill will, or how was the whole relationship when you recorded the show?
No, during the show, I spoke with Justin a month or two before the show. When he entered the UFC, and congratulated him and stuff. I've always been cordial with Justin. It would have been disingenuous to go on the show and start shoving him and shit. It would have been really, really made up and fake. It was a classy 5 weeks. It was very sportsmanlike. We do compete. He's very competitive, and so am I. So when it comes to the realm of being competitive, things will get serious. But for the most part, we're not going to make something up that doesn't exist. You know what I mean? I couldn't be fake for 6 whole weeks. I wouldn't be able to go on with the show that long.
That's fair enough, man. Yeah, in that sort of environment, I think it would be. You have to sort of come across honest. I had the opportunity, obviously, to go up to the gym there a few weeks ago. Pretty cool place. But I want to get your thoughts. Obviously, Kevin Lee and Tony Ferguson will be thrown down in a couple of weeks' time. Obviously
Who's that? Who is that?
Kevin Lee and Tony Ferguson. What are your thoughts?
Who are they? Who are they?
What are your thoughts on those guys? Obviously, meeting each other, and how can you see that one playing out? Obviously, it's big significance to yourself and Justin's fight, I feel, as well.
I don't even know what that fight is. I feel like I don't know what happened there. Out of nowhere, they made an interim belt and had Lee fight. This is very odd for me, what went on there. I don't know.
Are you surprised?
I don't know what went on there.
Are you surprised with some of the matchmaking in the UFC lightweight division?
No, I'm surprised at that one. Not all the matchmaking, just that in particular one. It seems like I did the show. I was like, all right, I'm going to do the show. I'm going to fight Justin, then work my way back to a number one contender and stuff like that. And then out of nowhere, they put up a belt and then put them two guys to fight for it. I'm like, the guy beat Mike Chiesa and then he gets a title shot. That was very odd for me. You know what I mean? Like, I had to fight Donald Cerrone, Anthony Pettis, Gilbert Melendez, Rafael Dos. I had to fight these guys in order to prove myself to get a title shot. This guy won against a tough winner and then gets a title shot. It was very weird for me to see that.
Do you think it's because Kevin maybe he's pretty good at selling himself in relation to his vocabulary on the microphone?
I think they just looked down the line and was like, this is the only guy we got, let's throw him a bone.
So I think what you're saying there is you feel as though Tony Ferguson's gonna go through Kevin.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I actually think stylistically, I think Lee will do really well against Ferguson. In my personal opinion, I just think it was a bit premature considering the competition to be able to throw that guy a interim belt or any kind of belt.
Eddie, you mentioned your goals are for the UFC world title. Obviously starting with Justin Gaethje. Do you feel as though you're maybe 2 or 3 away from maybe getting back up towards if Conor returns to the UFC? We're not even sure yet, but do you think it's 2 or 3 fights before you're back in the frame for an actual title shot?
I think 2 devastating fights. They gotta be done. They gotta be talked about. You know what I mean? 2 devastating fights, and I'll be right back in. Like 2 of my typical fights, and finish them, and I'm right back in fighting for a title.
Well, one of those fights being... Sorry, go on.
I gotta put them guys. I gotta put both guys away.
Will one of those fights be in Philadelphia? The UFC still haven't been there yet. I can't really understand why.
Yeah, I'd love that for that to happen. It's a dream of mine. It doesn't look likely.
Why not?
I don't know. I keep asking, and I'm not hearing anything that I would like to hear. I'm hearing, I don't know why they don't have it there. It's like
yourself, Paul Felder. There's a number of guys.
Yeah, I mean, we could do a monster show. It's just they're not taking advantage of the opportunity here in Philly. I would have loved to do it when I was champion.
Yeah.
But even better to do it maybe when I fight for my belt again.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Eddie, I have to mention one thing as well. I saw something that you did again today. It was first class for me. I saw it in social networks. A young Irish GA player, Aaron Elliott, was involved in a serious accident in Philadelphia, and you went and visited him in the hospital. How did that come about? It was first class from you.
Sure. I'll be honest. I was going through my Twitter, and a couple of his teammates. There was a GoFundMe page, and I clicked on it to read. I just seen another athlete, just like myself, who was involved in an accident, and then I see a guy who's running on a football field. Then I see a guy in a complete body cast.
Wow.
And I have 4 kids at home. Yeah. My one son plays soccer. My one son plays football and soccer or whatever you guys call it.
Come on, yeah.
And it just struck a chord with me. I'm thinking like of my young son playing, and then next thing you know, it made me realize how fortunate I was to be able to get to do what I do for a living and get to play for a living. So one of his teammates were like, hey, it's GoFundMe, and they said he was in Philly, and I'm like, if he's in Philly, the hell with, of course, we'll support him with the GoFundMe. That's the easy part, but where is he? Because I felt like he may have been close by, and they said he's right in Abington, and I realized, hey, that's only, maybe a half an hour. If I get done practice, I can shoot over there. I said, give me some time, and his teammate gave me the stuff, and I went to go check him out and give him some stuff and talk to him.
Wow. Brilliant. That's first class, Eddie. I think a lot of people, even the story's been going around in Ireland here today, and a very, very good thing to do.
I really didn't realize what I was. I thought I was just going to check this guy out, and he plays a sport that in America it's not even a popular sport.
Yeah.
I thought he played football. I thought he played soccer. I didn't know that this sport was something whole. I didn't know anything about the team or what he was doing. I just seen a guy who was, playing something and then ended up in an accident. So it's actually a lot of Irish are hitting me up and saying thank you. The support's been overwhelming. So good for Aaron. The more attention we can get to his GoFundMe page, the better.
Definitely. We'll give a big shout out in the show this week as well. Fair play to Eddie for going down. How's he doing anyway? Is he recovering?
Incredible. He's a walking miracle. When he got hit, he died basically. There was no pulse, no nothing. And luckily there was a group of doctors having dinner or something at night, and they went right over to him and resuscitated him and got him back to life. I was looking at him in the face today and thinking, you're a miracle, man. Like, I'm witnessing a miracle.
Wow.
He's talking to me. He's standing up. He's doing everything that a normal person can do. And it wasn't but 2 weeks ago, his skull was broken. So what a fighter. What a tough son of a bitch.
Wow. Incredible stuff. Well done for doing that. A lot of guys wouldn't congratulate you on that, and it's obviously lifted his spirits as well. Eddie, just a couple more for you. I do appreciate the time. Listen, have you noticed your rise maybe in popularity since the McGregor fight, and have you noticed maybe things change in your life around you in relation to people knowing maybe who you are after that fight?
The Conor fight?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't like for people to know me for the Conor fight.
Yeah,
I would like for them to know me for other things.
I know.
But yeah, for sure. More followers. I liked when I won the title when more people won me for winning the world title than the Conor fight. But yeah, I don't know. Things were different when I won the title. In that everybody gives you free shit. You fly first class. You get suites in hotels, and then once you lose your world title, you fly coach home.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That's the way it works, I think. All right, just one last one for you. Justin Gaethje coming up in December. Fight I'm very much looking forward to. I think a lot of the MMA community are looking forward to this one. Big statements, big 2018 for Eddie Alvarez, back towards that world title.
I'm gonna march forward. I'm gonna not take one backward step, and he will fall. I'm gonna march. I'm gonna go straight at him, and he will fall. We're gonna exchange punches, and you're gonna see an old version of myself, a violent, aggressive version of myself, and it'll be a spectacular night.
And Mark Henry screaming.
For Team Alvarez.
And Mark Henry.
Mark, look, I'll let you know. I already told Mark he can pick a spot, pick a seat in the stands because I'm not going to need him for that night.
Mark screaming codes in the corner.
No. I said, Mark, you're not going to be needed for this.
All right.
He can help me all the way up into the fight, and I said, but the night of the fight, I'm not going to need you for that, man. I'm not listening to shit.
Is he barred from the corner? Yeah.
You're not going to need him. No use. Just sit in the stands next to my wife.
No, Mark. Well, I don't think that'll go down too well. If he wasn't in the corner.
No, he's already nervous about it.
Definitely. Eddie Alvarez, it's always a pleasure. I do appreciate the time. Great to have you back on the show, and I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of the Ultimate Fighter season and that fight, obviously, in December. Do appreciate it, my friend.
All right, brother. I'll see you.